Howdy doody everybody, I hope you're doing great. In today's video we're talking about a brand new game and one that I've been looking forward to talk about for a while, and that is Blue Protocol. I know a bunch of you guys will like this one and hopefully you guys know about it already. If you don't, then I'm going to get you up to speed on this one so you know exactly what this one is about and what all the details are. And if that sounds good to you, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So, Blue Protocol is an anime MMORPG developed by Bandi Namco. These are the guys that make Tales of Arise and have the anime license for all of those games. Bandi Namco makes so many anime games, it's actually mad. I feel like Tales of Arise is probably the most recent bang one that they've come out. And they're obviously publishing Elden Ring, which is a huge game, so people will be looking forward to a bunch of their games. And Bandi Namco everywhere, you guys should know them by now. This game is going to be free to play. That is like a magic word for some people and a disgusting word for others. I think it's particularly good because it just means more people will get access to play it, but it does mean that there might be like some crazy monetization with like the cash shop or itemization and all of that stuff, so it could scare people off. I totally get it if you are scared when you hear it's free to play, but I feel like most MMOs are going free to play nowadays because buy to play and like the subscription models are just mad sometimes, so people are kind of scared off of spending money and all of that stuff on it. But the thing that really sold me on this game, and the main point of it, is just the combat system. The combat looks pretty fluid. It's got a bunch of actions on the toolbar that you can utilize, but it is a real-time combat action system compared to a lot of the MMOs that we have on the market. Some of the best ones like Final Fantasy 14 and World of Warcraft that are like tab targeting games. So it being an action combat system, this means that I'm thoroughly looking forward to it because I just feel like the fluidity of it all, and I feel like a lot of MMOs should move towards that. There should be a market for like tab targeting systems, but the fluidity of like action-based combat system games just looks pretty cool. One thing that is disappointing to me, and I want to call it out actually, and it's actually, I wouldn't say disappointing, but it is a blessing and a curse at the same time, is that it is going to be 100% PvE, and I like a bit of PvP in my game, so when I see that I'm like 50%. You guys can let me know if you're predominantly PvP players or PvE players. I know a load of you guys play Monster Hunter, so it's probably going to be PvE for you guys, but me, I like going in there just let's throw some hands with some people, you know. So not having PvP in this game is kind of disappointing, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they won't add it in the future. But it could be also a good thing, because if there's no PvP, that means that all the PvE balancing is going to be very good, because a lot of the time when they make these games and they make them with PvP in mind and they're a PvE game, the PvE side of it gets nerfed a little bit, so that's not good. Currently we do not have a release date for the West, but they have been open to it and they've said that they're interested in a global release. And with Bandi Namco being a global corporation or company, I'm suspecting that they will probably want to release it in as many markets as possible so they can recoup as much money on their investment and their development time and all of that stuff. And they've already said that there's interest from partners such as Smilegate, which is our other publishers, and bringing it to other regions, but they are focusing on Japan at the moment. So let's talk about the gameplay. We've already talked about it being an action combat system, but with an MMO, one of the most exciting things that you can do is pick your classes, and there are currently 4 different classes with different specializations. So the layer on top is you have all your different abilities, you can pick between them using skill points, but then you have specializations, like the magic class can go into different elements, and different attacks for the melee classes, and the different support architecture for some of the classes, such as the bow class as well. But let's go through some of the classes and just talk through exactly what you're going to get through them or get out of them. So the first class is called the Aegis Fighter, and this is your big shield boy. If you play Monster Hunter, then this is kind of looking like a Switch Axe looking class, not Switch Axe, a Charge Blade looking class, but the Aegis Fighter is looking like it's going to be your Tanku class with a shield. You can absorb that damage and then take that damage and do more damage to them and just melee them to death basically, which is pretty cool. Then you have your Twin Striker class, which is your dual blades or your twin axes. This is your constant DPS. I'm going to do as much damage, reckless boy, because you're just meant to be in their face attacking. The more attacking that you do, the more that you can stay in the fight, because it will keep you in the fight by just regenerating your abilities and all of that stuff. So this is your I'm going to attack and just go berserk on the enemy class. Then you have the Blast Archer, which is your archery class, focused on hitting those weak spots. So if you're a Legolas boy and you want to go out there and hit those weak points and get that massive damage, then this is the class for you. Looks pretty cool. I'm kind of thinking about playing this one. Then you have finally the Spellcaster, which is your mage class, which is your generic mage class, throws elements, does all of that stuff. I haven't actually seen gameplay of like the different elements proccing off, so I don't know that in detail, but I suspect that if they have different elements, a bunch of the enemies in the game will be susceptible to a bunch of the different elements as well, so this class could be super impactful. I'm not actually sure which one I'm going to pick at the moment. I'm thinking between Blast Archer and the Twin Striker. I kind of, when I was traditionally playing MMOs, played a lot of the melee classes, but we're moving in between doing a bunch of different things at the moment, so I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to play as, if that's going to be the Blast Archer or not, or the Twin Striker. You guys can let me know which one looks most appealing to you, but yeah, there is different specializations layered on top of that, which is pretty cool. One of the last things that I wanted to call out is the crafting system as well. It seems in the game there's going to be a lot of crafting akin to Monster Hunter, so rather than bosses dropping gear and loot, you have to craft it up yourself, just like in Monster Hunter. So hopefully it's a system where you go to a boss fight, you get your materials, you go back to town, you craft up your gear, and then that way it's got that Monster Hunter feel, which would be pretty kind of unique. Obviously we have Monster Hunter Online and Monster Hunter like Frontier and all of those games, so but it's very hard for us to get that experience over here in the West. So hopefully if this game does come out over here, we get that kind of Monster Hunter-esque MMO experience, which will be pretty cool. I feel like a lot of us are yearning for that, and I feel like the art style in itself, with it being this really cool anime art style, looks pretty clean. It looks very presentable. I like the way that they've shaded everything. The world looks pretty decent as well, so I'm excited for this one. I feel like a lot of people will like this one, and it will hit right, because from what I've seen, they're listening a lot to player feedback, and I feel like they've gone back to the drawing board, even from the betas, and changed a bunch of things, and people have been those changes have been pretty well received, so that's a good sign already. But anyway guys, you guys can let me know exactly how you're feeling about this one, if you're going to pick it up, if you're done with MMORPGs and you're just like, nah, dead off the whole genre and all of that, or if you're looking forward to this one and this one's been on your radar and you're just yearning for more news and you're ready for it to come out. Anyway guys, that is it from me, so bye bye, see you later. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget you can subscribe so you don't miss another video.